Hey, greetings. It's Susie Q. I'm working with my mother's dream. This was a number of years ago. I can't remember what year it was or anything, but she was on the phone and she was frantically telling me about this dream that she had. She had all of these details. And so I listened, and then I got a notepad and I got some guidance. From what she was saying. And so we're going to start right now with this piece, and we'll see what you think it's going to be like. But I think with all of these things, there's like a lot of symbology there. There's a lot of metaphors. There's a lot of other underpinning energies related to what she was saying. So I was very, very keen, at least, to just take a look at some of those words. And so we're going to get started right now. In the quiet of her deep, relaxed state, she saw him, after decades of his absence. Only flashbacks of words spoken as if to say, "I'm coming home," are her memories. From the window of her existence. Young sailor, well-dressed with dark wavy hair. Contemplative steps mark his arrival. He approaches and walks over the green grass. He is not alone as he comes. A woman with raven locks looks away. At the door to her world, the raven one disappears. As she welcomes him in, someone else is there. A man of European descent, dark hair, dark skin, dark eyes. The European quietly sits on the sofa. Back together, the sailor and she soak in familiarity and silent thoughts. As she looks to him, she thinks, how good it is to see his face after all of these years. In a far too brief mark of time, the sailor says it's time for him to leave. She and he stand, just the two of them. The vessel of this storyteller told this tale. Dreamers we all are, welcoming lovers from our past. Over and over again, the vessel exclaimed, "I saw your dad's face last night." She then asked, "What do dreams really mean?" The storyteller then spoke to say, "Mom, he wants you to know that he is still here." Okay. So that was part of that dream experience that I put together a number of years ago. And then I blended it with another written piece that came through succinctly, fast, and it's real sweet. So we're going to do the second piece here too. Tonight, under the starless sky, I grow intoxicated. As your two hands pour of your crimson wine, breathless as I await satisfying my thirst. Tomorrow and tomorrow I beg of you to stay. Your soul's providence lingers in the air I breathe. Eyes wide open, your love is all that I can see. Oh, if this is a dream, I pray to never awaken. Just this one time may lucidity encapsulate me. For your heart beats, revealing the ultimate truth. Your hand in my hand, sheltering sky above, mirrors in gentle ways just how deeply I love you. In this life and thereafter, my heart remains with you. Okay, so it's real sweet when we have messages from the other side, from spirit. And there were two other people there that were with my dad when he was coming to see my mom in that dream state. She had all of the details. She just was real succinct with like knowing exactly what was happening. And so sometimes when we have these events where somebody from spirit has passed for many, many years, right? So, and then we start finding that there's more to the story. And so again, with my dad, he kind of came over the grass, which is kind of interesting. So the more that you kind of look at some of these different ways of processing information, there's a lot of different systems and ways of looking at life. And so my dad was there, there was a woman there, the Raven woman, and then the European man was in the house. They came into the house, and he was just waiting, and then he had to go. So every once in a while we get chances, or opportunities to connect again with somebody who's already passed. And it's, that was my dad, but it was my mom's dream, right? But I loved the sense of curiosity from my mom. She had a lot of details, and the best I could do was just get a pad and paper and write, what she was saying. So she really felt that energy that he was still there. And sometimes you think my dad died when I was, let's see, how old am I? Maybe 47 years ago, 49, maybe 49 years ago. I think it was like 49 years ago my dad died. And so just to have the inkling of, um, it's just so it was so amazing. It took my breath away when my mom called me and wanted to process the dream. And so I'm really extraordinarily happy that she came to me, because I wrote that one piece from my mom, and then I had my own complementary piece there as well. So when we look at people who have already passed, and we think that we'll never see them again, they're just gone, and I'm just I can't process what's happened, but we do get guidance. We do get all kinds of levels of guidance for spirit, and so you could say, well, maybe I want to call somebody in. Sometimes when a person passes immediately, you start getting some guidance. You start getting some kind of trickster type stuff, some kind of fun, silly things, that come through. But with this piece that we're talking about, with this dream, is that something rekindled something for my mom, because he was gone for so long, and it was just kind of fascinating just to remind herself of her when she was a real young girl, and her husband was a sailor, cute little sailor, And so that's all of these things are kind of coming back. And sometimes, my mom passed a number of years ago, and then maybe my dad was, coming back to her, maybe or seeing her when she was starting to go into spirit. Who knows? Who knows what that is? But it's wonderful when we can connect, when we can connect with some of our family members who have passed. Is a lot of times we can kind of connect with them. Whenever I look at working with spirit or working with other types of energies, I always know that the moment that I, it's kind of, let me just say this, it's kind of precognitive, because the moment that I have a thought in my mind about mom or dad or other people that have passed, they're already in my field, so you could say it's kind of precognitive, and then all of a sudden you're starting to get a little bit of guidance. And then you could have a little practice if you like, just to get a little bit more guidance about what's happened with, some family members who have already passed. And maybe you can go into any kind of, there's no time, right? There's absolutely no time in this energy, but you could go back in time and work with your ancestors. You could work and go forward in time and see if you can get some more guidance from the future ancestral lineage that you have. All of these things here are really, really sweet. And so I really give my mom a prop, because she had the intuition to contact me, and then I was able to really get some symbology. And with those words, at the beginning when my mom was talking about the dream, it was just it was so sweet. It was kind of like two little sweethearts, it was kind of, and when I go into my dream states or my Akashic records, I'm actually a witnesser. I don't say anything. I'm usually in a space, but I'm watching the whole show. So I have that capacity to have that visual interpretation along with some of the words that were spoken or some of the thoughts that were spoken. So I don't interfere at all with any of the Akashic records. I don't interfere with my QHHT things as well, and I don't interfere with kind of these dream state type things. I'm just kind of there, and I can see the whole thing. So it's a true gift. So anyway, so I think that's it for now. We'll see you soon, and namaste.